making things right again.
Yep, it's about seeking forgiveness or something you've done wrong in the past. Hey, never too late to make it right, right? So let's bring in
Murshidah Said, of course, our resident motivator. How are you, Murshidah?
Good morning.
Awesome morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you very much
Good
for
morning.
having me again. Hi.
So, let's talk about the reason behind you choosing this topic. You know, why do we have to highlight this?
Okay, actually, this is a follow-up of the last few segments when I was talking about blame and you know, not having expectations of other people, but rather work on yourself, having expectations of yourself. And this time, it's more on how to make things right again. You know, when we address this topic, how to make things right again. When you hear this sentence, right, obviously you think of, okay, I have made a mistake. Now, how do I make things right again?
Right.
And you know, we are all human. Humans are not perfect creatures, right? So we all make mistakes, and we acknowledge that we make mistakes. And a lot of times, sometimes we fail. But the point is, how can we get up and improve ourselves again? How do we make things right again, right? So most people out there, especially you know 95% of the population who are, you know, going with the flow, they would say, if I make a mistake, they would justify it. You know, if people are, you know, telling them, you know, you made a mistake, or they are aware they made a mistake, what most people would do is they justify. They say, oh, you know, it's because of this kind of thing. They've worse. They blame other people, right? So that does not solve the problem, and that does not make things even better, right? So what I would like to urge each and every one of us, you know, you, myself, is when we do make mistakes, let's come clean. Let's come clean and start to make things right again, you know. And it is not about purely, you know, trying to fix things. Sometimes things that are done cannot be undone, it cannot be fixed. But how can we move on towards a better, you know, level? Yes, that better relationship, maybe a better situation to your life, you know, because you know, some things that you may have done or you may have said that may have hurt or destroyed a relationship or a certain you know situation.
So what does it mean to make things right? You know, instead of just justifying. And does it have to just mean confessing up to your mistake?
Yeah. The most important is not to sweep all these problems under the rug. You know, just come clean. You know, if you make the mistake, come clean and apologize.
Man up.
You know, apology is yes, man up.
Why not woman up?
Woman up as
Before
well.
this becomes a gender thing.
That is true. Man up, woman up.
Feminist flag.
Own up, right? And you accept the responsibility, come clean, and apologize. And apology is actually one of the steps of respect. And you know, when you are respecting a certain situation, you respect a relationship, you respect someone. If there is something that you have done to have hurt that person, if there is something that you have done to spoil a certain situation, you know, you first apologize. And when we apologize, no, imagine you just accidentally, you know, you walk along the street and then you hit somebody by accident and you apologize. What would the person say? They would sometimes first time they'd be like, you know, like that. Then when you apologize, they'll be like, it's okay. Right?
Correct.
So most of the time, if we own up, if we apologize, we take the first step to apologize, people will be, you know, it's okay. You know, they will forgive you.
Just like the hand gesture in the car.
Well, we have a caller on the air, 03228290623043. We are first caller of the day. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, sudah letak.
Sudah
Okay,
letak.
try to get through that again. Yeah, okay, if you can.
Sorry.
So, what if in cases where, Murshidah, if you own up, right? Or you actually man up.
Man
and
up.
You admit to your mistakes and you try to repair or make amends, right? But the other party will say, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know,
but this guy will be
they
there.
will think that, okay, I will forgive you, but I cannot forget. You know, how will you try to go through that rough patch?
That is a very common statement, right? I can forgive, but I cannot forget. That is not really forgiving, right? Unless when you cannot forget a situation, when you remember a certain situation and you actually feel blessed, you feel grateful, and you're glad that that thing happened because of where it had led you. That is forgiveness, right? But if we say, oh, I can forgive, but I will not forgive, I will just, in a way, blame you for something that has already been done, that is not forgiveness. The thing is, we cannot change people, we can change ourselves. Now, when we talk about forgiveness, and this is a very hot topic, when we talk about forgiveness, it is not about, trying to fix the situation. It's done already, right? It is about how to let go of the emotional baggage that is stuck with that situation.
Murshidah, I have to stop there because we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Before he puts down. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, right?
I would like to give my opinion.
Sure, go ahead.
I think everyone has a mistake, but the mistake will make something for them. I mean that the mistake will be used to as a lesson for them to make a good result in the future. So I believe that everyone, if someone makes mistake, the mistake will make them a very matured people. If someone don't do mistake, so they cannot be a lesson, they cannot be a mature in doing something better in the future. So it is important. Instead that someone didn't something mistake in their life, I believe that they don't learn anything. So the mistake will restructure their mind, rekindle a good, better life in the future.
Right.
So I think the mistake will make them more mature, more responsible.
Yep.
It can give a lesson in doing something better in the future. So I believe that it is important in restructure in the future of the life. So that is my point. It is
Thank you very much, Hari. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
do you agree, Murshidah? Definitely,
I do
right?
so agree with Hari, and one of the main things that I share in my class is mistakes actually lead to success. And a lot of times people always think mistakes lead to failure. They are so scared of making mistakes, But you know what? We are all human. We make mistakes, and sometimes these mistakes are actually important for us to learn and be able to move on and not repeat the same mistakes. Successful people, they make more mistakes than everybody else, right? You talk about what Colonel Sanders, Michael Jordan also said the same thing. People
Thomas
always ask,
Edison.
how many times, how come you can hit the goal and all that, in basketball. But he said he has lost the game so many times. He has missed that goal so many times, more than other people.
Even
Right.
the inventor of light bulb.
Yes, exactly. And also the same thing, 10,000 times.
Let's just bring in another situation, right? Let's say a person stole something, got away with it. So, and he's feeling a bit bad after that. So, should he make things right?
He shouldn't
Should he
have-
make things right?
You shouldn't have steal in the first place, right?
Yeah, exactly. But mistakes happen.
Sometimes he has a conscience. Okay.
Look, all of us, we as humans, we have that inner voice, in us that knows what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes, because of we block our heart or we have this ego, we say, look, I need to do that. I have no choice,
Yes.
as us as humans.
In certain cases, it will be like the angel
Oh
and
yes,
the devil.
the angel and the devil.
No,
And
yes,
I,
no, no.
I have worked with prison inmates before, and most of the time people tell me this. The people in prison, they
Okay.
said before they do a certain crime, that inner voice is so strong, but the brain will justify. The brain say, oh, if I don't do this, wait, my boss will marah. If I don't do this, or wait, I will get hit. How can I eat? All these things that they think that they have no choice, and they do it despite that inner voice. So the one that you were talking about, it is that inner voice, the inner compass in all of us human beings that we know generally is what is right and what is wrong. So when a person does something wrong, even when we say hurtful feelings to somebody, sometimes we feel bad, right? That is that inner voice. So coming clean is important, because if we don't come clean, we justify, we continue the hurt or blame the person. Oh, that person deserves it, right?
Right.
And despite knowing that we are wrong, right? And we do not come clean, we will have to be accountable for that. And most of the time, it goes in a cycle.
All right. Well, we actually went out to the streets and find out what people had to say about this. So let's take a look at this video.
Men
So
and
roll
women
BT.
on the street.
One of Syekh Bakavoli, now if you get into a dispute or any uncomfortable situation with someone, what would you do to show your apology to that person?
Oh, okay. I guess the first thing to do is to communicate. Get everything onto the table. Communicate, and apologize, I guess. Yep.
So you would openly apologize to the person?
If I'm in the wrong, yeah.
Okay. What about if you're on the other side and you get into some situation with someone? Would you openly accept an apology for someone, especially if you think that a person has done wrong?
I guess it depends on the situation. If that's gonna settle the problem, why not? Just be the bigger person. Yep.
If the other person was wrong, then I would accept the apology.
Immediately, or it takes some time?
It would depends on the situation or how bad it is, but most likely I'll accept the apology.
If I know some kind of self-defense, so I will try to fight back. But if it still depends on the situation actually. If let's say that person have a weapon to attack me, so most probably I will run away instead of fighting back. Yeah, of course. Usually I will ask that person to go out with me to go for a drink and talk about it. Yeah, I'm a very forgiving person.
Okay, basically first I have to calm down because I don't like to settle things when my brain isn't thinking straight. So basically I calm down first, and then maybe I make the first contact first, and then ask them whether are they okay or anything. So I just settle things like, okay, what is it, and I'll make things straight lah. Because basically if it's my fault, then I'll admit, because I don't like thinking like, oh, semua salah you, and then it's not my fault. So I basically do that. It will basically take some time because I think that it's hard for me actually. I have a very hardcore heart, so I have to take some time, and then I'll accept the apology. I don't I don't say no, I hate this person. I may not talk that to that person, but basically I'll accept the apology. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
I have to really define what's hardcore
That's
heart.
right. I've heard of broken heart,
Yeah.
mechanical heart, but hardcore heart is new.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I love all the sharing. One question, so many answers, right? Different perceptions. And I just want to raise the statement about apology, right? Forgiveness. And when we make things right, it is not just about forgiving the other person. It is also, in a way, you are forgiving yourself. Sometimes when we make a mistake and then we justify or we blame, and we know it is something that is uncomfortable. When we think of that situation and we feel uncomfortable about it and we do not come clean, we just let it be, or worse, we blame. That is actually quite dangerous to the self, because not only are you perhaps not forgiving that situation, but you are not forgiving yourself. And one of the key things about why people face a lot of problems in their lives, and they have that cycle repeated over and over again, they have that bad relationship one after another, or that bad business, or that income problem over and over again. It is because of non-forgiveness of the self. If you cannot forgive yourself, it is very difficult for you to move forward in your life. And I just saw all those slides that were shown on screen just now. One of the things that I would like to urge each and every one of you, including myself, and I completed that 48-hour fast, complete fast. 48 waking hours, not when you are asleep.
Right.
Take full responsibility of your life. Anything bad that happens in your life, do not blame, do not justify, do not criticize, do not complain. Do something about it. Make things right. If you can find solutions, focus on solutions rather than blaming, and if you do that for full 48 hours, when anything bad happens to you, you do that for full 48 hours, right? You will see transformation, not only in the way you do things in the future, right? But you will see your life transform. It took me almost 2 years to complete that. I was afraid to say I always tell people before, it took more than a year. It took me almost 2 years to complete that 48-hour fast. And that is an indication of how we have been, I have been living in a life full full of blame and anger before. So when anything bad, I do not justify, do not blame. I say, okay, let's do something about it. How we improve a situation, right?
Well, what you can do now is actually go on the Facebook page. So just type in the message is love and respect, and be part of the Facebook group, and you can actually talk to Murshidah more on this topic. So the message is love and respect, and yes, thank you very much, Murshidah.
Thank you.
We have run out of time, of course, because we have a lot of other topics. But of course, any session with you is very enlightening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Same here.
Thank you.